Hi everybody, it's Richard here again and welcome to another video. Now this is the fourth in a series of favourite albums from a certain decade. I've done the 60s, the 70s and the 80s, and this time I'm going to do the top 30 albums of the 90s with only one album per artist allowed. Now this is the weakest decade for me by a long chalk. The 60s I thought was tough enough to do to get down to 30. The 70s was impossible, the 80s was impossible, and the 90s I've actually struggled a little bit to get 30, although at the end of the day, I got about 38, 39 different artists, but I wouldn't say some of the albums were absolutely brilliant. So I was originally just going to do this with CDs, but I looked out the CDs of the albums I don't have on vinyl first, and it took me ages to find them, so I gave up and I just picked out the rest on vinyl. So 30 albums, they're all very good albums. The top 10, I would actually say the top 20 would be proper, and then the from 21 to 30, but I'm just assigning a number. So at number 30, and it's a CD I have to show, and it's from 1993, and it's the Bee Gees, Size Isn't Everything, and this is the one with the hit single For Whom the Bell Tolls. Paying the Price of Love was another single, and there's one song off here called Above and Beyond, which I think is magnificent. It really is very, very catchy, and I don't understand why they didn't release it. And Blue Island's a lovely little acoustic number. So the Bee Gees, Size Isn't Everything, at number 30. At number 29, and from 1995, it's Pulp's Different Class, and this is the one with Common People on it, which is one of the best singles of the 90s. It also has Disco 2000, Misshapes, Something Changed, Sort of for Ease and Whiz. It's their best album. The one before is quite good as well, His and Hers, but this gets the nod. At number 28, and it is another CD, is Ocean Colour Scene, Marching Already. I do prefer this to Mosley Shoals. This is the one with the excellent It's a Beautiful Thing on it. I absolutely love that song, as I also love Half a Dream Away and the very acoustic-y Foxy's Folk Faced. 100 Mile City was the single off this, which was quite reminiscent to the one on Mosley Shoals, the Riverboat song. But yeah, very, very good album. The problem with these guys is all their albums sound the same. They all sound the same, but I think this is the best quality one, so it gets number 28. At number 27, and I'm giving it to R.E.M's Out of Time. Now I considered giving it to Automatic for the People because it's got loads of hit singles off it and it's very good, but I think this works better as an album. Taking away the singles from Automatic for the People, I'm not overly keen on the LP tracks, but here I love Losing My Religion, and I do like Radio Song, although a lot of people give it a bit of a hard time. I don't understand why. I think it's really good. Shiny Happy People, which I detested, but I actually do quite like it now. But my favourite song off this is Me and Honey, and that's got the vocals from, is it Kate Pearson of the B-52s. Very, very good album from 1991. At number 26, and I'm going to give it to U2's Achtung Baby, and this is the one with Fly on it, Mysterious Ways, Who's Gonna Ride Your Wild Horses, one even better than The Real Thing. Probably my second favourite U2 album behind War. So after this, I'm not really interested, but yeah, it's a very, very good album from 1991. Okay, at 25, and I'm going to give it to 1990s Armchair Theatre by Jeff Lynne, and I think this is a really strong album. The first single off this is Lift Me Up. No, the first single off this is Every Little Thing, and it is really good. It's full of horns and it's completely different to anything he had ever done. The second single, Lift Me Up, is just your standard ELO type song, but it's still very good. Save Me Now is a beautiful little acoustic number, and he does a couple of cover versions here like Stormy Weather and September Song, which work really well. Very underrated album, and that's from 1990. At number 24 from 1990, and is Paul Simon's Rhythm of the Saints. I was disappointed in this when I first heard it, but it's really grown on me. Born at the Right Time would be my favourite song off it. The Obvious Child is the obvious single. She Moves On is really beautiful, and I do like Proof, which was a single as well. The Coast is a good song. It is very rhythmic, this album. If you're expecting Graceland Part 2, you're going to be disappointed, but in its own right, it's a very, very strong album. At number 23, and from 1992, it's Lou Reed's Magic and Loss. Now this can be a difficult listen. The single off this is What's Good, which is not bad. Sword of Damocles is really good. Harry's Circumcision is really good as well, but as I say, it is a tough listen. I'm not going to go into this album because I want to get through these 30 very quickly. But yeah, it's well worth getting. It's up there with New York. Maybe not quite as catchy, and there's some spoken words through it as well, but it's a very strong album. At number 22, and this was huge, and it's a brilliant country pop album, Shania Twain's Come On Over, and it's this version here that sold bucket loads over in the UK. The big hits off this are You're Still the One, which I love, absolutely love it. Man, I Feel Like a Woman, that don't impress me much. Come On Over, Honey, I'm Home, that's filled with singles, absolutely filled with singles. There's another big one off this as well, Don't Be Stupid, From This Moment On, When. I think there's about 7 or 8 singles taken off this, and it was massive over here, so I don't know exactly how many actually did sell, but I'm sure it's well into 2nd or 3rd platinum without a doubt. So Shania Twain, Come On Over, from 97. Number 21 from 94. It's Sparks, Gratuitous Sax and Senseless Violins, and this one has really grown on me. I didn't like this at the time when I bought the CD, and over time this has really grown. I love the little 31-second gratuitous sax. The singles off this were When Do I Get to Sing My Way and When I Kiss You I Hear Charlie Parker Playing, and there's a third one, Now That I Own the BBC. It is actually quite dancey, but it's really good. But the best song off this is Frankly Scarlet, I Don't Give a Damn, followed by probably The Ghost of Liberace. Let's Go Surfing is also fantastic. This is actually, if I was to do my Sparks ranking video again, which I did last year, this might actually hit the top 10. Really enjoy this. So this gets number 21. At number 20, and it's the Rolling Stones, Voodoo Lounge from 1994. Love Is Strong, You Got Me Rockin' were the two big hits. There was Out of Tears was also a single, but the worst, I love that, the Keith Richards country number, New Faces with the harpsichord, something similar to what you would find on Aftermath. Really good album, and it's funny, I always liked it but was never that keen, but when I got this vinyl and I played it, it just shot up again, and it's really, really good. So Rolling Stones, Voodoo Lounge, number 20. At number 19, and it's definitely maybe by Oasis, their debut album. It is their best. 4 singles. Shaker Maker, which is similar to the New Seekers, I'd Like to Teach the World to Sing. Cigarettes and Alcohol is Complete Steal of T-Rex's Get It On. Supersonic, and the other one is Live Forever. Excellent album, and brilliant opener as well with Rock and Roll Star. Really good album, and it is their best. Okay, at number 18, and I'm going to give it to The Great Escape by Blur, and this is 4 singles as well. Country House, Stereotypes, Universal, and Charmless Man. Fantastic album. Mr. Robinson's Quango is really good. Top Man is really good. Best Days is a brilliant song. I think this is their best. It's a toss up between this and Modern Life is Rubbish. I can never make my mind up, but I'm picking this one. At number 17 from 1994, and it's the Proclaimers, Hit the Highway, and this is the one with What Makes You Cry, Let's Get Married, and These Arms of Mine. Really good. Shout Shout's a fantastic song, as is The Light. Again, this is one that took me a while to really like. I thought it petered off a little bit at the end. Side 1 is the better side, although there's still some really good songs on side 2, like Your Childhood, which is a really good song as well. So Proclaimers, their third album, and it's from 1994. At number 16 from 94, and it is Radiohead's The Bends. Yeah, this is the one with Fake Plastic Trees, Bones, Nice Dream, and the brilliant Street Spirit Fade Out. It's either this or OK Computer, but I still think I prefer this, so it gets number 16. At number 15 from 1998, and it is The Beautiful South, Quench, and Perfect 10's the big hit off this. Dumb was a decent sized hit, as was How Long's a Tear Take to Dry. But the song for me on this is Window Shopping for Blinds. I absolutely love it, and this would be my second favourite Beautiful South album. At number 14 from 1994, and it is Morrissey's Boxall and I. Top 10 hit with The More You Ignore Me, The Closer I Get, and Hold On To Your Friends was a single, didn't do too well. The Lazy Sunbathers is hilarious. Used to Be a Sweet Boy is a great song, and Now My Heart Is Full is beautiful. So Morrissey gets number 14. At number 13 with from 1992, and it is Struck by Lightning by Graham Parker, and this is the one with She Wants So Many Things, They Murdered a Clown, The Kid with the Butterfly Net's beautiful. He also does a version of I'm Into Something Good by Herman's Hermits, which I don't think features on the CD version of this. I think it's only on the LP version. I'm not 100% sure. A Brand New Book's another great song. As said before, Graham Parker's albums are really consistent, and although maybe Elvis Costello from 77 to 82 maybe wins out in the 90s, and I would definitely go Graham Parker every time, and especially in the noughties as well. So Graham Parker comes in at 13. At number 12, and you may think this is too low, and it's David Bowie's Ours. I think it's my favourite album of his of the 90s. The 90s is my least favourite decade of his, but this has got the gorgeous Thursday's Child on it, the beautiful song 7, and side 2 for me it really works with songs like The Dreamers and New Angels of Promise. Some of it, Survive was a second single, which I think is a little bit bland, but I love The Pretty Things Are Going to Hell, which is very reminiscent of actually the first Tin Machine album. So this comes in at number 12. And at number 11 I'm giving it to Kate Bush's most underrated album, and it's from 1993, and it's The Red Shoes. I love the song Why Should I Love You. Rubber Band Girl is a decent enough single. Moments of Pleasure is gorgeous. Eat to the Music, which wasn't a single over in the UK, I think would have given her a top 5 hit. This is really good. I don't know why this gets slagged. I think maybe it's because it's very accessible. It's her catchiest album, and maybe people thought she was playing it safe, but really strong album. The title track is fantastic as well. So going into the top 10, and number 10 I'm going to give it to the Notting Hillbillies, Missing Presumed Having a Good Time, and this is the one with Mark Knopfler. He only sings a couple of songs off this, but the highlight for me on this is Railroad Work Song. I love the guitar on Feel Like Going Home. Will You Miss Me is absolutely beautiful. Run Me Down, One Way Gal, it's like a country type album, but it's really strong, and this was far better than the next Dire Straits album, On Every Street. So Notting Hillbillies gets number 10. At number 9 I'm giving it to Tanita Tikaram's Lovers in the City. I Might Be Crying is gorgeous. Yodeling song is great fun. She's yodeling away in it. Women Who Cheat on the World is beautiful. Lovers in the City is beautiful, and My Love Tonight is absolutely stunning. A really good album. It's very dark, it's very slow, but it's a really beautiful album. And at number 8 I'm going to give it to John Fogerty, or John Fogerty. I call him Fogerty, you call him Fogerty. Blue Moon Swamp. Yes, this was his comeback album after the disappointing Eye of the Zombie. Southern Streamline is fantastic. Hot Rod Heart is brilliant. There's one on here, Joy of My Life, which is absolutely gorgeous. This is his strongest album. This is my favourite of his solo albums. I think this is actually better than Centerfield as well. So it gets number 8. And number 7, I'm giving it to Squeeze, Some Fantastic Place. A disappointing opener in Everything in the World, but the rest of it is stellar. Some Fantastic Place is great. Third Rail is fantastic. Paul Carrick's back for this, and he sings Loving You Tonight, and it's very similar to Tempted, but I think I actually prefer this song over Tempted. Joy Comes Home is slightly reminiscent of Labelled With Love, but it's excellent. And True Colours the Storm, I love. It's written by the bass player Keith Wilkinson, I think his name is. But yeah, fantastic album, and without a doubt their best of the 90s. And at number 6, I'm giving it to 1999's Viva El Amor by the Pretenders. Human and Popstar were the 2 singles, great songs. Nails in the Road, great song as well. One More Time, if you just listen to Chrissy's vocals in that, it's absolutely magnificent. And Legalize Me is a great song as well, and From the Heart Down, one of the Pretenders' strongest albums and their best of the 90s. And at number 5, quite a country album in a way, a slight country touch, is Nick Lowe, The Impossible Bird, and this is his first, what I would call, adult album. He released the pop album Party of One in 1990, and he slowed it all down for this, and this is the direction that he was taking, and this is brilliant. This includes The Beast in Me, which he gave to Johnny Cash. He actually wrote it for Johnny Cash back in the 1980s, but he didn't actually finish it until the mid-90s. True Love Travels on a Gravel Road, the old Elvis song, is magnificent. Shelley My Love is beautiful. Drive Through Man's a great song, but my favourite is Withered on the Vine. I think it's absolutely stunning. So Nick Lowe comes in at number 5 with Impossible Bird. At number 4, and his ex-wife, and it is Carleen Carter's I Fell in Love from 1990. And this is just a fantastic country hoedown album. It really does pick you up. I absolutely love the song Goodnight Dallas, My Dixie Darling. The Leaving Side is another fantastic song. I Fell in Love, the title track, is really good. There's not a bad song off this. Me and the Wildwood Rose, brilliant album, and I've only recently heard this within the past couple of years, and it's shot up into my top 5 of 90s albums. So Carleen Carter, I Fell in Love. Which leaves the top 3, and at number 3 I'm giving it to Bob Dylan's Time Out of Mind. Double album, single CD. Dirt Roads Blues is great. Trying to Get to Heaven was covered by David Bowie, which is great. Make You Feel My Love, which was a big hit for Adele. Not Dark Yet is absolutely beautiful. Lovesick Blues is great as well. Fantastic album, and everything he's done since this has been great, apart from the covers albums. So it gets number 3. And number 2, I'm giving it to 1992's Out of the Cradle by Lindsey Buckingham. And this is the one with You Do or You Don't on it. Countdown, Surrender the Rain, Turn It On, Say We'll Meet Again. The thing is, listening to this and listening to the Fleetwood Mac album Behind the Mask, which was released a year or 2 before, this is 100 times better. And whenever those guys heard this, they must have thought, why did we let this fella go? This is an absolutely fantastic album from 92. It gets my number 2 overall of the 90s. And I think my favourite album of the 90s, and I've mentioned this before, and it's Amarok by Mike Oldfield. I should be showing the CD for this one. It is one 60-minute long track. It goes off on all different tangents, but within each section there's always a little very accessible melody in it, and I love it, absolutely love it. Some things take you by surprise because you're listening to it and then there's a shriek of a guitar for about a second and a half which wakes you up. And the only criticism I have of this is Janet Brown does an impression of Margaret Thatcher which dates it a little bit, but sometimes I do like it as well. And you actually hear what happens when Margaret Thatcher tap dances on it as well. It's weird, but it is absolutely wonderful, and it gets my album of the 90s, #1. Okay, so that's my rundown of my top 30 albums of the 1990s. I hope you enjoyed that, and I hope to have another video of something else quite soon. All the best now. Bye bye.